That way we're not late because it's right at 5 o'clock. See, it's in the third inning. So Tampa Bay and Boston.
Okay, good for them.
That Rays jersey's nice. I should get one.
No.
I could, though.
Or not.
But I could.
Or don't.
But I could.
Or no.
I'm just saying I could.
You could, or you could not.
If you want, I can throw on Monday Night Football. Oh, basketball's on, too.
Oh, my God.
Here you go.
Lord, Shannon.
It's the Raptors and the Rockets.
Nope, pass. Okay.
Well, he did pass it, and then the guy slam dunked it. So good call. Because that's what everything's plugged into.
I know.
And so when I turn it around, it's right in front of the computer. Normally it's behind, but...
Hello, peoples.
Oh, it rimmed out. Went for the 3 and it rimmed out.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
No, it's Happy Thanksgiving.
It's all the same thing. One's a turkey, one's a Santa. Just don't put the wrong one in the oven.
Eat Santa, though.
That's what I'm saying. You don't put the wrong one in the oven.
Totally different.
That's actually, that's straight out of like, that's always a good mantra, isn't it? Don't put the wrong one in the oven. That pretty much goes for everything.
What are you talking about?
Just don't put the wrong one in the oven. Like if you're talking to the cat and you've got a turkey in your hand, don't put the wrong one in the oven.
What?
Just saying. It can help you out with so many things.
Okay.
If you're talking to me.
Anyways.
Stop trying for threes, Houston.
Okay.
There's another slam dunk. Oh, that game's not going very far.
Oh, somebody said there's Alaska Airlines plane with Kraken decals on it. That's fun.
Now, would they just be like a fan climbed up on the back of the plane and just threw a couple of decals up there?
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Oh, goodness.
That's the first super chat, I think.
I know. Okay. Your thoughts on Bobby Ryan not making it and Lucas Raymond making it. Also, chances Red Wing finish at 500 or better.
Well, clearly Raymond ends up being on the, or Raymond ends up making the team at the expense of Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan, I was kind of hoping he'd get the spot vacated by Verona, but it's good news for Wings fans that Raymond's ready to make it. Sider's on the team. I think Detroit's going to be fun to watch. I think they'll win more games than people expect. Not a playoff team, but I think they'll win more games than people expect.
It's not, you don't say Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. You just say Happy Thanksgiving. That's it. We do not call it Canadian Thanksgiving. We just call it Thanksgiving.
See, I've got all these Canadian Christmas cards made up. They've got geese on them. So should I just cancel the Canadian Christmas?
We do not add Canadian to the names of our holidays.
Yeah, we do.
We do not.
Happy Canadian Easter. See how easy that is?
It's just Thanksgiving. It's
Happy Canadian Passover.
It's not. No, we don't add Canadian to
Man, I feel like I've been doing it wrong for so long.
It is cold out today. I just shut the window because Shannon's crazy. I had the window open.
It's 13 degrees out. It's not bad.
Burr. Okay.
I've been living in the basement for a long time.
Do you plan on reviewing Squid Game?
We haven't even started that one yet. We just finished the third season of The Circle last night, which was funny. In that one of the alliances was all catfish and the other alliance had no catfish. We haven't started Squid Game yet.
Difficult.
You can see there's a scroll ball on the mouse.
Yeah, I know.
If you can use that to scroll up or scroll down.
Oilers have a chance at first in the Pacific since Flowers gone.
Chance maybe, but I do have some concerns with the Oilers. I did an interview today with San Jose Sharks radio personality, and we got into which teams are most likely to win the Pacific. Edmonton might be the one that can threaten them, but I still think it's Vegas' division to lose.
The story behind Thanksgiving in Canada.
Okay,
we decided to eat a bunch of food because it's harvest.
Back in 1812.
It's the harvest holiday that it's
so
time for harvest. River. So we eat a bunch of food because it's harvest.
There's this river that divides Saskatchewan from Alberta. And back in 1812,
What? So what river is this, Shannon?
It's the Delaware. It's before the states repossessed it.
And moved it?
They did.
Kind of like London Bridge, eh?
They moved it. They moved the entire river.
That must have been difficult. Did they move it on a
Well,
semi?
you know,
or on the
Washington did
train?
it. Washington did it to beef up so he could cross it. He crossed it on foot.
Oh,
He
did
scampered across it. It's not a very well-known historical fact.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, he
All
did.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is just harvest. We don't have other story to it like they do in the States. It's just
Well,
harvest.
where's my harvest, woman? I need my harvest. Get to
Pardon?
harvest. I have nothing to be thankful for if you're not out there harvesting.
You go pick stuff out of the garden yourself.
I'm gonna have to
There's
buy you
plenty of
some
kale.
more trowels.
Go get some kale out of the garden.
Do you
I already harvested all the potatoes and
get to get
there
some
are
stuff
some
out
more
there to
Brussels
harvest.
sprouts still going, but I do have the Brussels sprouts.
Those kale plants are just
I
huge
know.
with leaves right now.
I know.
I went to get one for the bunny, and I was like, "This is a lot."
It's making
So-
up for not growing in the summer because
Yeah.
it's so hot.
Yeah, we were running out. And,
Yeah, I was being careful. Okay. Do you pay your employees more once the season starts? Do you make a turkey for Thanksgiving and stuff it with poutine? Ah,
that wouldn't work.
oh, that'd be so gross.
But when you think
Poutine
about it,
and
the
turkey?
stuffing sometimes has potato in it, and you have
Does it?
you have gravy.
What kind
There's
of
turkey,
weird?
You know,
gravy
turkey
is
gravy.
that?
Turkey gravy poutine would actually be
It's
pretty
fantastic. Yes.
good. Okay, so in lieu of you not getting the
Since
harvest
when
for
is
me,
there potatoes and stuff?
since you haven't got the harvest done for me, can you go make me some turkey poutine? That'd be great. Thanks.
You'll make your own turkey poutine. Since when is there potatoes and stuffing?
I've been toiling all year. I don't need
toiling.
I don't need to be out there harvesting. I've been toiling.
Toiling.
Been toiling in the
Whatever.
fields.
Okay. Anyways, Shannon's in a mood today.
Oh, I'm not. You're in a mood.
I don't know what name that is.
Oh, Mikheyev.
Okay, with Mcdavid out now for at least 2 months, do you think the Leafs call up Ho-Sang and give him a main club contract?
Apparently, the plan is that Amadio gets that spot. Engvall ends up getting an expanded role. If they get off to a slow start, that's where you may see Ho-Sang get a chance.
Okay. Have you done fantasy draft yet?
For myself, no. And I haven't. I don't really do fantasy drafts. I'm thinking about throwing in predictions with the previews this year. Because remember, if you belong to the Discord, which is in the description for this live stream's description for everything, the plan is to have the predictions kept track of. Yvonne's going to do it by hand for each person. So she'll harvest that at the end of the season.
What? I'm doing what?
You're toiling and harvesting the predictors at the end of the season, just in case the bot goes down. Just in case.
No.
So that's the plan.
Poutine stuffed turkey sounds delicious. To me, it sounds soggy.
It sounds
soggy.
I don't think that would work.
It sounds soggy.
Because the parts that would be touching the inside of the carcass would be a no for me.
It'd be like mashed potatoes.
That'd be a no for me. Yeah,
I'd be sad poutine.
No.
Pass. But Mickey poutine with the gravy from turkey, that would be good.
She saw penguins on the TV.
Oh, there. Hey, I catch it.
Those aren't real penguins, kitty.
Do you think Crosby being on Monday Night Football halftime is a good indicator of how seriously ESPN is going to take having the NHL?
Oh yeah, ESPN's going to be promoting it. I've noticed that if I watch an AEW show, they have little promos for hockey right now. Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job so far, but they spend a lot of money, so it's in their best interest to promote hockey. So that's a good thing. Here, I'll change it.
Hello. Honestly, shocked at how many people are predicting the Canes to miss the playoffs. I'm thinking they will do quite well with their power play.
Who's predicting Canes to miss? I'm not predicting Canes to miss the playoffs. I think the Canes have to make the playoffs. I don't have them predicted for first with the moves they made. I took them out of first in my prediction for the Metro. I don't see any chance they miss the playoffs though.
What's your prediction with Seattle? I feel being the underdog will cause them to be better than most give them credit for.
I have Seattle finishing fifth fifth in the division. I have him ahead of the 3 California teams, but I'm getting nervous about the Canucks. So that could be fourth. It absolutely could be fourth.
Let's see. Do you think the Panthers will break the curse this year?
The Panthers have to get out of the first round this year. Their lineup is absolutely stacked.
Reaction to Eklund Kraking's Sharks opening roster.
Good. And I really hope that he excels. I'm also hoping they're not rushing him at all. They need to take their time with their prospects because this is a rebuild or retool of sorts for San Jose. So I'm hoping they're not rushing him at all. But as long as he's ready, I think it should be a lot of fun to watch. I love watching the rookies play.
How does Kachev, okay, do with Velarde and Elias Anderson?
Kachev just turned 26, so he should be ready. He should be good. I would expect. I've seen ballparks of 25 to 35 points if he stays on that line. That's probably pretty sound.
My picks for the division this year are Pacific, Vegas, Central, Avs, Metro Hurricane, Atlantic, Lightning. The toughest division to pick a winner for was the Atlantic and Metro, with the Metro being so competitive and the Lightning losing key pieces.
I agree with all of those. The only one that I would be different on would be I don't have Carolina first. I have Washington first just because Washington usually does really well in the regular season. But I'm kind of nervous because Backstrom could end up being out long-term. And if that happens, Washington, I don't think they finish first.
Hey, Shannon. I'm a 20-year-old from St. Louis. Started a jersey collection of every championship since 2001 when I was born. Any tips on finding authentic finals jerseys, especially CCM and Reebok? Ooh. Good luck.
Those are getting tougher to find. I know that Adidas Authentics or Reebok Authentics, I've been able to find through full moon jerseys on eBay. But if you're looking for like cup final patch and everything, Jersey Baron, again, it's pricey, but Jersey Baron on eBay may have some. And then it's just a matter of finding the right marketplace, finding the right online sellers, and doing the research and the due diligence on it. Because there's a lot of fakes out there right now.
He doesn't have too many jerseys, but thanks.
I do like them as a backdrop. I think as a backdrop when I'm doing a video or for like a live stream like this, I think it's great. That's what she does every time you leave the house. Pixel. Every time you leave the house, she howls. And she howls right now because she's not sure. She can't see you. So she has to howl.
Our cats are spoiled. Okay, I predict Red Wings will finish 5th or 6th in the Atlantic, maybe missing the playoffs by 8 or less points.
The Red Wings, it's tough because with Montreal losing Price for a while here, we don't know when he's coming back, and they lose Weber. I could see Montreal falling back. I still think Ottawa's going to be pretty good. So I have Detroit at 7th in the division, but I think it's going to be a strong 7th. I think they could finish at 500, and I think they could surprise some people.
We have not watched Squid Game.
Not yet.
Shannon, good to see you guys. Thoughts on the Pens without Sid to start and Gino out for months. Curious who your sleeper pick is this season as well.
Sleeper pick for a team. I picked LA in the West. The Byfield injury hurts them a bit though. In the East, Ottawa's a good sleeper pick. As a team that they need Tkachuk before they're going to contend. But yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be an interesting season overall. Kind of tough to pick.
Can you claim your jerseys as wardrobe for your YouTube channel?
Yes.
They're not.
It's like
wardrobe.
A lot
exactly.
of it's basically the jerseys, the magnets, the stuff that I buy that I use on the channel. I wouldn't have bought that if not for the channel. I wouldn't have this if I didn't have the channel.
They're work expenses.
It is an expense. Like there's jerseys I have that I haven't worn that I've got 4 videos where I've looked and I've said, hey, that's an interesting video topic if I get that jersey as a comparison. So like when I did the team history videos and that kind of thing, And next summer I'll do something more about the historical side with the jerseys. And so it is something I use for the business. There's no way I would have had like this Arizona. I wouldn't have had this if I didn't have a channel.
We wouldn't have a room full of hockey
no.
jerseys without the channel.
No. I would say 95% of the jerseys I have. I was even giving jerseys away before I had a channel because I was like, I don't need these. I was giving jerseys away.
Who did ESPN hire to be their PR?
You know, ESPN's crew's pretty good. I'm really happy with their crew. The one thing that surprised me was, so Andy Petrillo left Leafs lunch, and I wondered where she ended up. So I was watching the soccer coverage for Canada versus Jamaica yesterday, and there she is in the studio. And I was like, oh, that's different. So I think ESPN's done a really good job. I think they have a good team, and I really think people are going to like their production this year.
The jerseys are tax deductible, yes.
Because again, it's
expense.
a business. It's a business thing. Same with the magnets, the whiteboards, markers. Yeah, if it's related to the channel, then it is a business expense.
What are your thoughts on the Blue Jackets this year?
Good sleeper pick, and I say that because if both Shinahov and Sillinger end up impressing and adding some offense, and if Voracek has that kind of season he can have, I think Columbus could impress people. The big question mark I have is, are Korpisalo and Merzlikin's going to split 50-50? I swear the cat's not being tortured somewhere. We haven't locked her away. She's just howling for no good reason. I'll go get her.
Somebody was asking about center ice. Center ice is definitely still a thing. Do we even have ESPN in Canada? Isn't that just an American thing? And I'm pretty sure center ice is just a Canadian thing, right?
The center ice package is Canadian.
Right.
We still have NHL TV in Canada as well.
But
so I have access to NHL
the
TV.
ESPN Plus here,
the ESPN Plus is American.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because somebody was asking if one was replacing the other, and they're
in the States, yes.
Countries.
In Canada, no. In Canada, it's I have center ice through our cable, and then I have NHL Live, just in case something happens with center ice.
I need your opinion. Is this a fair assessment? I put down $200 on the MGM for the Lightning to win against the Penguins in the home opener. Or should I change?
I would say I would be very surprised if Pittsburgh wins tomorrow because their first line center is Carter. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a slapdash lineup they got going there for Pittsburgh. And I'm going to be really interested to see how it turns out. But, yeah, Tampa should win that game tomorrow night.
Is there any update on Besser?
Just that he's still day-to-day. There wasn't really anything of consequence from Benning's news conference today, other than, yeah, he's still out, and they're hoping he's back soon, but there's no time frame for that. Is she in the bathroom? What in the world is wrong with that cat?
We have weird cats. Is she still up by the front door?
She shouldn't be, not if she's howling like that.
Well, just because she shouldn't be.
See, and I can't shake treats or anything. That doesn't work
she
for
doesn't
her.
care for treats.
No, she doesn't like treats. So I have no idea.
She's not in there.
I don't know where she is, but she's loud enough that she's not in anything.
Can we see Pixel? Shannon doesn't know where she is. We can just hear her though.
Every time I come back in here, she starts howling.
You can listen to her cry.
She hears me leave the room, so she's like, okay, so she's fine because she'd keep crying if she was in any actual danger.
What should the Leafs do if they lose in the first round again?
I would think that if they go through another first round loss, that's when the Shannon plan has to be altered. That core has to be changed. They would probably make a change behind the bench. Kyle Dubas has a plan. You can see it if you watch the Amazon Prime special series on them, the All or Nothing. You can see there's a plan there. But I would think that if they end up out in the first round again this year, it has to get torn down. It just has to.
Oh, they have center ice in the States too.
No, okay.
I didn't know. I thought I was just Canadian. Well, he's not watching Rob because he's doing a live stream.
Yeah, so Bear's watching Squirrel TV, so she doesn't bother me. But now Pixel started.
Who do you think becomes the next Rangers captain? One's not meowing.
I'm
the other one has
surprised they
to.
didn't name Kreider. Apparently, they've got 6 alternate captains, so you can only have three to a game. It's happened before where you have different alternate captains at home or on the road. I'm kind of surprised they didn't name Kreider. But with the contract they just gave Mika, maybe Zibanejad will end up being that captain.
Keep up the good work. Greets from Finland.
Thank you. Someday we'll go to Finland.
Someday we'll go somewhere.
Yeah, someday.
Thoughts on all Bruins happenings? Contenders?
I don't know if they're contenders. I think people are being too hard on Olmark after what was a rough preseason. He's still getting used to a new team. Being behind a new defense can be tough on a goaltender. You have to learn everything. It's a new system. But I think the Bruins are going to be good. I don't really have them as contenders at this point, though. I think the loss of Krejci as second line center. I know Coyle had a good preseason, but I'm on the fence with him as a second line center, and I just think their depth is taking another hit.
Happy Thanksgiving. Just checking in, so forgive me if this was already asked. How will Flurry do with the Blackhawks? Also, Golden Knights fans, give Leonard a chance.
Oh, I agree. Leonard's a very good goaltender. His winning percentage is very good. So while his numbers aren't as good as Fleury's last year in Vegas, his winning percentage was very good. As for how I think Fleury will do in Chicago, I think he'll do well. I do think his numbers will come down from where they were in Vegas last year. I don't see a Vezina level season from him, but he'll provide stable goaltending. They haven't really had since Corey Crawford was in his prime.
Oh, somebody's looking for a white Arizona jersey.
The Kachina hasn't come out yet.
Look like
this one?
Yeah. Don't you have to go through the team store to get those?
At this point, maybe, because I don't think Ben has them anymore. And these ones, of course, are being retired now. They're vintage. So it's weird. Arizona's one of those strange teams that's gone back to their old look. So the vintage jerseys are now the new ones, and these ones have now become the vintage look because they got away from it. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure where to get the white ones right now. I think Full Moon had Reebok versions, but I'm not sure with the Adidas right now.
If everything goes right, how high do you think the Rangers could finish in the Metro?
If everything goes right, I could see them being as high as second. I think the Metro is really wide open. I think the Islanders are excellent, and everybody else outside of that, I think there's question marks.
Hockey fan from Germany, can you explain what qualifies a player for waivers? I always thought that was 1- and 2-way contracts because of the NHL games.
2-way contract doesn't affect it. It's your amount of pro experience. So you don't even have to play NHL games. If you've been a pro for a certain number of years, you have to clear waivers before you go down to the minors. The idea being that if a player's been with a certain franchise for a long time and never gets a chance, eventually they hit the waiver wire. So if there's another franchise that wants to use them, they can pick that player up. I know it's explained on Cap Friendly. Cap Friendly gets into the exact numbers, but 1- or 2-way contracts only make a difference on the video game. The video games mess things up to the point where I used to think there was like a period where you could just send guys down and waivers weren't in effect because the game does that as well. Yeah, it's not a thing.
Should we be concerned about Demco's preseason?
No, I'm not concerned about any goaltenders preseason. Any veteran players preseason, unless they're a rookie or they're trying to win a job on a PTO. Preseason numbers or whatever.
Any thoughts on the surplus of Adidas Kings and Knights jerseys on eBay for about $50 each?
There was a bunch of them that were at Ross. So if you're in the States, you went to Ross. There were a lot of Ross finds where they were just blowing out these jerseys because they were first year and they wanted to get them all out before the prime greens came in. So a lot of those may very well be Ross finds where people got them for $15 or $20. Now they're trying to get rid of them for $50. I know I've seen that a lot on Facebook too. Just always make sure the seller, look at their ratings, look how long they've been a seller, and watch for fakes.
There's a lot of Knights fakes.
But there are a lot of jerseys out there right now because Adidas had to get rid of all of that old stock before the new stock came in.
Oh, somebody's talking about those Kings silver helmets.
They look ridiculous. And sadly,
did they not learn from Vegas? Because
I was going to say, sadly,
those
Vegas
were hideous.
Vegas is not supposed to wear the gold helmets
They need to play each other, and each of them wear those, and then they can both look silly together.
No.
It would
Vegas
be so shiny
Vegas
and
is
blinding.
Vegas is not supposed to wear the gold helmets anymore.
They were so ugly.
I would like to
Those
think that
are
my
awful.
reviews where I laughed out loud at
It
them
was so
might have
bad.
made a small difference. I would like to think that I had a small positive difference
Those
and
are
effect
so
on things
bad.
because they look terrible.
Where do you get your logos from? Do
Uh,
you mean the magnets?
the stickers I use for magnets, I get a lot of them from eBay sellers as well as through the NHL store itself. The NHL stores actually had a lot of them on sale. Again, because they got new stock coming in, so they got to get rid of the old stuff. And so I went in and grabbed a bunch over the summer.
These the silver helmets equal tinfoil hats.
It is.
That's
it
really
could look
funny.
Goofy. It could look goofy.
Could
I'm just saying
It will.
Could, not necessarily.
There's
they got
no-
shimmering silver on their jerseys.
there's no possibility that they won't look silly.
They'll look
There
silly.
she is with the string in her mouth. She has the string in her mouth while she's howling.
Pixel.
Hey, Shannon and Yvonne, you were a huge part of my college experience the last 4 years when I watched hockey games and your review videos in my dorm room every night during the season. Super excited to follow along with you again this season.
Yeah,
Aw,
I'm excited
thanks.
to do the reviews again. Tomorrow night there's just the 2 games on, so
Oh,
no.
Here's Bear.
Bear, you don't need to come over. I'm trying to
Pixel has this
Pixel's
little
broken.
like rope, and she loves
walks
her
around
rope.
with this and howls.
She's like a little puppy. She loves her rope. She carries it around and
And she gets mad when other cats play with it, don't you, kitty? Come here.
any holdouts who might miss the start of the season.
Kachuk's going to miss the start of the season. It's not an if. Kachuk is definitely missing the start of the season for Ottawa. Outside of that, he's the only one. I believe everybody else is fixed. So here's Pixel. See, look,
She
there's
looks
squirrels
thrilled.
on TV. She always looks thrilled.
She does not like being picked up.
No, but I've learned how to pick her up so she's not upset about it.
She likes to sit on your lap.
Hi.
She does not like to be picked up.
Why are you howling? What are you howling for? Huh?
Tomorrow should be a Canadian and US holiday, but our holiday's today, so
Yes.
we can't have a holiday for first day of hockey.
Right.
Wouldn't work.
Right.
Of
And we
the
just
games-
had reconciliation was a holiday. We've had a lot of holidays recently.
2 holidays within 2 weeks. So, of the games I was able to watch, Tarasenko looked like he was having fun playing. Is the past in the past, or is he playing for a trade? I hope not.
Everything seems to indicate that him and the Blues are willing to put it all aside and try for this year. At the very least, he's been told, hey, come in and play well. And, if you still want to get traded, fine, but you need to play and get your value up. But yeah, everything being said by Armstrong and by Tarasenko seems to indicate that it's in the past for now.
Vegas and LA should play each other around Christmas with the silver and gold helmets. They should play the Christmas song "Silver and Gold."
Can you imagine if every
This
team had
Burl
shiny
Ives is
helmets?
Great. No.
Every Vancouver could
Oh
have
my
shiny
gosh.
blue helmets.
No.
Canadians could have shiny red helmets.
No.
Traditionalists would lose their mind if we had sparkly red helmets
That would be
for Montreal.
awful. See, sparkly wouldn't be as bad as those chrome ones.
Oh,
The chrome is
times
ridiculous.
Sparkly or chrome. You'd hear it from Montreal fans if they
I'm
threw
sure.
that on with their standard jersey they've worn for decades.
Why isn't the season 84 games? That way everyone could play their division rivals 4 times a season. Has the idea not been proposed?
They had an 84-game season back in the day. 2 of the games were neutral site games, which ended up being an experiment that kind of worked but really didn't. You'd have to approve that with the NHLPA, and then that would add another almost a week to the schedule too. And so you have to have the players on board with more games. And I think 82 games is about the max, but it's possible we see the schedule get changed, but probably not until the next CBA.
Candy apple red helmets with sparkles.
I just
Yes.
it's so weird. It is so bizarre.
Bear's busy watching squirrels on TV
Yeah.
right now. So
Yeah, I put squirrels
you
on
can't
TV
see
for
her right
Bear.
now.
She's fine.
so then she won't be a pest.
Yeah, she's fine. She won't be yelling at me and telling me off.
Bear is like a puppy that always needs attention and needs to be like held or pet
It
all
is
the time
day.
and always needs
The only
food.
time she's quiet is when I'm doing a video. If she's not sleeping, the only time that she's quiet is when I'm doing a video. And as soon as she hears that ding, meaning the video's done, she's bugging me again. She's like, all right, you're done the video. So can I, you pick me up? Can you carry me around? Can I get more treats? Is it
I
snack
don't want
time?
that food. I want new food.
Those other two
Yeah.
bowls of food are not sufficient.
Yep. And if she doesn't like the food, she'll try to bury it too. So that's always fun.
Which fans are the hardest and easiest on their players?
Original 6 teams are hard on their players. There's a lot of experience as fans, and I think they're and at various times Toronto can be the hardest, Montreal can be the hardest. I've seen original 6 teams boo their own guys out of the arena. Ranger fans have done it. Bruins fans have done it. I'm trying to think with Red Wings. I don't know what the Red Wings. I know Hawks fans can be hard on their players too. The easiest on their players might very well be some of the Sunbelt communities where it feels like it's more of a casual fan base and maybe it's smaller fan base in some cases where they're easier on their players, or there's just no expectation. So, but definitely original 6 cities, you're dealing with some added pressure.
Do you think King Louis will get 20 goals in Arizona?
Erickson won't get 20 in Arizona, but he may very well get 10. I could see him getting 10. I could see him getting as high as 15 if he gets ice time in Arizona. I know people laughed when I said I thought he'd have a bounce back being out of Vancouver, but I don't think 10 or 15 goals is necessarily that far of a stretch. Erickson, it just did not work in Vancouver, and he was stuck in Vancouver because of that contract, and it just kept getting worse. So if he bounces back in Arizona, I could see a 10 or a 15 goal season.
Any news on jersey or helmet ads?
The only jersey ads I know of are the ones for the Capitals. I think those kick in next year. I don't think there's any for this year. And as far as I know, for retail jerseys that we buy either through online sellers or we buy at stores, there won't be ads. It would only be on a game-worn jersey that you would find advertising. I'm 99% sure the NHL will hold to that at least for the first couple of years. I think they understand that hockey fans don't want advertisements on jerseys that they're buying.
Let your daughter design new NHL uniforms. Glitter for everybody. There would be. She loves glitter.
Be a lot of pink. A lot of glitter, a lot of pink.
No, not a lot of pink.
Sure there would.
No.
Yeah, she loves pink.
What color does she love more?
Well, everything would look like the Maple Leafs.
Purple.
Oh,
yeah, she loves purple.
Well, if you saw my countdown, you'd know I like purple too.
Because it's beautiful.
A lot of purple.
She likes purple.
There was a lot of comments about it.
Teal.
Me with purple kings.
Because it's beautiful.
Well, I like the shield. All the jerseys with the shield on them.
Yeah.
They were all in the top 10.
Because they're fabulous.
All 3 of them.
I want a glittery pink cherry blossom caps jersey. That sounds great. Like this plan.
I really think hockey traditionalists would have an issue with that. I don't think those would go over very well. I think that they would be upset mildly.
Do team issue Adidas jerseys have problems with the logo when washed?
I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see, and at some point in time we'll get into the Canucks store again and we'll nose around because they sell off like jerseys that are game worn or just, practice. And we might get a good look at a logo and see what they go through because players really put them through the ringer.
So it's not just the regular Adidas jerseys. We have not had any problems with the previous season's Adidas jerseys. It's only the Seattle one, but that's our first of the prime green that we've washed. We haven't washed. Well, the only other prime green we have is Calgary. We haven't washed that.
Makes me nervous.
So we will keep an eye on that. And I am interested to see if when we wash it, if it's different. Because some fabric, when they get the fabric and they sew it into something, it has like a starch on it, a stiffener. It makes it harder. And so like when we buy clothes, I wash it before we wear it. Same with like when I get fabric and I'm going to sew it into something. I always wash it first.
I just throw mine on.
Because you're not supposed to do that.
I just throw it on.
Because it has stuff
factory smell
on it.
Nice. It's good for the skin.
Stuff on it that makes the fabric stiffer and not as fluffy. And so I am interested. You stop it. I know exactly what you're smirking at. I am interested to see. See, he had to go off of camera because now he's giggling because he's a 12-year-old boy. Anyways, I'm interested to see if after it's washed another time or two, if the fabric on the logo actually softens up
Right.
more, so then
Yeah.
it doesn't look bubbly. It
Right.
looks more even.
Right. So
That was my first thought when we first pulled it out and it looked kind of bubbly.
I
that
will be-
maybe
I
it's
will be
supposed to
testing
be
it.
like that.
Ben and I have already talked. He saw the video last night that I did where I talked about the bubbling on the logo. And so he's going to send me one that he has that has, he said there's defects in it, but it's nothing that's really bad with defects. It's just he doesn't feel comfortable selling it. He goes over every single jersey he puts up for sale on eBay with a fine tooth comb. He sent jerseys to us. He's like, there's a defect in this. I can't sell it. And we can't find the defect. We're like, is it this little dot right here?
There was one that had a little mark
close and
that washed out.
Yeah. And so he's going to give me one to wear on camera because he said, no, I'll do that. And then we can still test with the other one. You know,
I want to wash it again.
And we'll see if it gets better, if it gets worse.
It might get,
but if it's like starters.
Okay. Yeah, I know it won't be because there's not a layer of batting in between. So the starters jerseys, those were really bad and with bubble because there's another layer of fabric in between that they don't do that anymore. But I'm wondering if maybe it softens up and then it's not, because that S is huge, that maybe it softens up a bit so it's not.
So this one's an old pro player, and you can see first off it's not in mint, but the logo does soften up, but there's still bubbles
but they put an extra layer in there. They used to put another layer. He had an old Canucks jersey that I had to take it apart and take that layer out, and then I re-sewed it because it was looking crappy. Okay, who ends the season as the Bruins starter?
Swayman. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's gonna be Swayman. I'm really hoping the kid's really good, and it's not just because I have a jersey with his name on the back of it.
Okay, THG Live is a great birthday present. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Happy
She's
birthday.
Off howling again.
Get a Thanksgiving happy birthday.
Why is she took the string and she's off howling again?
Do you eat turkey for your birthday? On the years that it lands on Thanksgiving? Okay, Eichel and Bobby Ryan. What's your take on both?
I think Eichel's going to end up getting the surgery he wants. I think it's a matter of him finding a team that's willing to allow him to have it. I think he's made up his mind not to get spinal fusion, which makes sense because there's a good chance he'll need it again in 10 years, and it could lead to pain throughout the rest of his life. Bobby Ryan, I mean, if Detroit's cut you, the odds of him finding another contract are probably slim, but maybe another team circles back on him. We'll see.
And wash to pre-shrink and get rid of the chemicals. Exactly. Factory germs add flavor. Yeah, Shannon's a dork. Don't.
What? You're in here yowling. She's right here. She's right here crying at the string. She's right there.
So.
Holy
Lord.
Lord.
Poor kitty.
Is she in heat?
No, she can't be. That doesn't work like that.
But that's the only thing that I can think of that makes cats yowl like that is being in heat.
She's fixed.
It doesn't seem to matter.
It has been for years.
I'm trying to
Does Dallas trade a goalie?
If Bishop gets right and he ends up playing, yes, they'll end up trading a goaltender. My guess is it would be Holtby. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go with Ottinger and Hudobin, to be honest, but I guess they didn't feel like Ottinger was ready for that role necessarily, or maybe they were worried Hudobin wouldn't be 100%. But once Bishop is healthy, they'll make a move.
Come back to Vegas soon. Aw, we wish.
The
American border is closed.
Yeah,
really.
I still have tickets for Vegas for December. I still have the hotel, but I'm gonna.
I don't think the border's gonna open up before then.
I know. I'm gonna have having to actually contact the hotel and see about taking our reservation and just pushing it back. I don't want to cancel. I just want to push the reservation back to when the border should be open, which would be next August, which would be the next time that we would probably be able to go. And I'm sorry because we have to go through winter and spring in this beautiful wet wonderland first. We would love to come back to Vegas.
It's sad.
It's been over 2 years now.
It's sad.
So yeah, we miss Vegas.
We do. It's so sad, but we
Yeah.
don't get to go places.
No.
So
We
No.
could go to Victoria.
one day the American border will open. That one day is not soon.
No,
But
'Cause
if
no
Americans
rush.
want to come to Canada, you guys are welcome to come.
yep, they can come. It's just there's no rush on the American side to let Canadians in.
Nah,
It's,
they don't care.
Yeah.
Ned, they don't care. Been watching you guys for a long time. Just wanted to give back a little bit. Thanks for all you do. Go Avs.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks.
I was actually wearing my Avs jersey from the last video I did till like a couple minutes before we went live, and I thought, well, no, I should wear a different jersey because it's more fun if I wear a different jersey. So I thought I'd go with a vintage Arizona look they haven't worn since last season.
Victoria is nice.
It is nice.
Victoria is very pretty. It's been a very long time since I've been in Victoria.
I've never been to Victoria.
That's just weird.
It is weird because I've lived
not
here
far away.
virtually my whole life. And I've never been to Victoria. But I mean, when I met you, I told you that Mission didn't exist
Right.
because I'd never been to Mission. So I
Which
just assumed
is
it wasn't real.
Insane.
There's nothing there.
It's 15 minutes away.
But there's nothing there. So I just assume it doesn't exist because it's just easier to assume
They-
stuff doesn't exist if you can't see
They
it.
have awesome places to go hiking.
Right. Because there's nothing there. So what they did was they went, there's nothing
Beautiful.
here. Let's invent a way to get out of
They
town.
have lakes and mountains.
Let's find a way to walk out of town. Hey, Bill, just go ahead and just whack some brush out of the way and we'll hike
You
because
don't
there's
whack
nothing
the
to do
brush
in the
out of
town.
way.
You do bushwhacking.
No,
what it's
you
called.
don't. No,
That's
nobody.
bushwhacking.
No, it's not.
It is.
Shannon.
Yeah, you bushwhack.
People are gonna get stupider listening to us. Sorry.
That's how you trailblaze. You
dumber.
bushwhack. You get a machete and you
It's not.
and then you sing like the Raiders of the Lost Ark theme.
Oh my
You
gosh.
pretend you're
You
Indiana
totally
Jones.
would too. I can picture that.
I used to sing it at
It
work.
was like whatever.
Every time
know
I
you
did
would.
something stupid at work,
Yep.
I'd start singing Indiana Jones because like I can really
I
injure myself doing this.
Can absolutely
Dun,
picture
da,
that.
da, 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 da.
You would totally do that.
I did.
Who will be the best goalie in the Metro this season? Everybody has a good young goalie out here. I love it.
I'm kind of hoping Shesterkin steals the spotlight in New York because I do like the Rangers. I do kind of hope that they break through. They took a risk in trading out Buchnevich, but if Kakko's ready to go, they should be fine. I would love to see Shesterkin end up being the best goalie in the division. But the Islanders with Varlamov, Sorokin, and with the goaltending coach that they have that's fantastic, I won't be surprised when it's an Islander that has the best statistical season.
Ran out of stuff to clean in my house. This gets to be my new distraction from my midterm paper. Do the Sens make the cup finals in the next 5 years?
5 years is really hard to project out to. I will say this. The Tkachuk contract is your litmus test. If they're able to keep Tkachuk, if they're able to show that these young stars, when they're up, they can sign them to long-term contracts and keep them. And maybe it's just a Brady Tkachuk thing. Maybe all the rest will fall in line. But that's the litmus test. They have really good young players. It's a matter of the time. And if they can keep them all together, and if they can add the right veterans at, say, the trade deadline when they're getting close to the playoffs, whether it's this year or later, the Senators have proven that they work really well as underdogs, and you can't take them lightly in the playoffs. So I would love to see them go on a run that far, hopefully in the next 5 years.
Saw the Winterhawks play Seattle T-Birds on Saturday. Love the Winterhawks' new logo, and the white jerseys look fantastic. Love the show. Thanks for all you do with Yvonne's help.
She's pretty good.
Hey.
She's
now.
good. I'll keep her around.
Oh, goody.
The Winterhawks new jerseys, I actually wouldn't mind getting one. I showed you the logo that they came up with, right? Portland Winterhawks when they changed it. I know I showed it to you.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I'm kind of excited. The AHL store is now selling the new Utica jerseys, the new Utica Comets jerseys in the New Jersey Devils colors, and that's going to look fantastic. And so I'm anxious to add those. The weird thing is that means I'm going to have Utica over here in Vancouver, and then I'm going to have Utica over here in New Jersey. Or do I have a Utica section? But then I'd have to have an Iowa section too, because I've got Iowa jerseys here and Iowa jerseys here. It's a problem.
Just messing up the whole
I'm looking
system.
forward to hopefully being able to do AHL jerseys or AHL videos this year to go with the AHL jerseys. Did she throw it under there?
I don't know what she did. She just all of a sudden ran over here and
Is there something
Look
under
like
there?
there's something under it.
Oh, good. She found something on the floor that she's chasing. So if it's a spider, I have to get it, and if it's some
Yes.
other kind of furry little insect type, you can get it.
Furry insect type?
Yeah.
You mean a beetle?
Probably. I'm not a big fan of those.
I know.
Really not a big fan
Over
of those.
under 70 points for Larkin and 45 points for Raymond.
If Larkin stays healthy, he should at least get 70 points. Raymond, it depends. If he's top 6, he should be able to get 45 points. If they play him on the third line, further down the lineup, it'll be more of a challenge for him. It's about ice time.
What is she doing?
I don't know what she just did, but she knows she did something. What are you doing, Bear?
Our cats are troublemakers. Just
They really are like toddlers.
let's go Devils. Okay, with Arizona going back to the Kachina, who would you like to see go back to an old look the most? Fingers crossed, Kings, Anaheim, and Dallas.
I think Anaheim
Kings.
is next.
I vote Kings.
I think Anaheim will go back to the Mighty Ducks logo at some point. Or maybe just every year they have thirds that they know are going to sell because it's got the Mighty Ducks logo on it. There's rumors of the Oilers going back to their old color scheme as well. Outside of that, I could see the Kings making a change. I think their current jersey design's fine. I think it's the logo on the front that's kind of boring. They could just use one of their other logos. I mentioned in the jersey countdown, that crown looks fantastic in black and white. They could just use that crown, and I think they'd have a winning jersey. Hey, Pixel.
Our cats are weird.
What did you find? What did you find?
Purple Kings jersey, full time. Agreed.
I think this is the one that everybody wanted to see as the full-time jersey.
Not me. No, not that one. Nope.
I'm fine then. If you didn't want it, all right.
Not that one. All
Yeah.
cats are weird. Agreed.
Have to-
Ours are
have
super
to dig
weird.
through in here and look for stuff, and you're just.
Is there? You okay over there?
I'm fine. You okay over there?
I am.
Is this the one you're talking about? Whoa, your hands are cold. That the one you're
Yes.
talking about?
Yes, I
Okay.
like that one.
Because that was top 10. The one thing that's weird with this is
The
the
neckline.
neck.
Yes,
But
agreed.
they could clean that up with an Adidas, and they'd have a
Definitely.
bestseller right away. And they could do away with the Los Angeles word mark, which is, look at that.
I know. Remember the other one was shredded.
Yeah.
Have I put Scotch Guard on this one yet?
Not on the Los Angeles part. This
Oh,
you
I
can
thought
feel
I
it.
did.
This has it. The Los Angeles part, I don't think does. Maybe.
I thought I did. But
Maybe.
so when I talk about Scotch Guarding the metallic ones, I'm talking about this and the Dallas. They shred just by looking at it. She jumped to get the chipmunk. Oh my goodness. Our cats are so
I know. Meanwhile, Shadow's just sleeping. He doesn't care. Oh,
Okay.
Pixel's watching now too. Good. Chipmunks
Uh,
now.
How many points for Kako this year?
I'm hoping for at least 50. I honestly, I'd like to see 20, 25 goals and at least 50 points out of Kako. That'd be nice. And about the same for Lafreniere as well.
Are you getting an Abby Canucks jersey?
I pre-ordered the home and the away. So those are supposed to arrive. It said they were supposed to arrive in time for the season premiere, which is this Saturday.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So this Saturday, you could take the boys to an Abbey Canucks game.
Sounds good.
So-
Why do they have to walk through our yard? Is that so they can throw it up at the door?
Is that Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably more markers. What?
Why are you ordering more markers?
Because the season's starting. So
How many
I have
boxes
this
of
box
markers
here,
do
that
you
box
need?
there, 2 boxes over there.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, Shannon,
What?
you're good.
There's
on
9
markers.
games on Wednesday.
So you can
9.
like use a bunch of one time. Oh my gosh, Bear. He has enough markers.
I think I need more markers. Keep that up. I'm going to order more. It's just there's all these colors, and then whenever you order markers,
Don't start, Lisa. Oh my goodness.
whenever you order markers, you always get colors that people don't like you using.
So
or
that
aren't
then we
visible.
can go through the comment section and hear how much they whine about. Don't use that
So,
color.
What I
can't
found
read
out
it.
is red. People get mad. Blue people are okay with. Brown, some people don't like
my
that I use
gosh.
brown.
Oh, there's a bug. Look at there's a bug crawling.
Orange, people don't like the orange, even
There's
if
a
I
bug
can see
on
it.
the
Black,
video.
green, blue, yellow is a no.
Right.
Yellow's just a no. Dark brown is also kind of a no. The light green is a no because that gives people conniptions. The purple's fine. The pink, people didn't complain so much when I used pink ones last year.
Use the red markers. Trigger them. Just go to Walmart.
I
Why?
just use various colors
Why would we go to Walmart?
for markers.
That
They're more
would be
expensive.
way more expensive.
They're more expensive and they don't have anywhere near the variety that I like. I like to be able to use these ones. The ones I just showed, I like because they attach right to the board. So when I'm doing a lot of games and I have like 3 boards going at the same time,
Then they don't fall
it's
on
nice
the
to have
floor
the
as
ones that are
easily.
attached to the board rather than the other ones that if I, sneeze the wrong way, then they're gone. That reminds me, I've got to get the other easel out because sneeze. So sneeze reminded me of easel. So I got to get the other easel out.
What?
Because the season's starting. So
what?
No, that's a thing.
It's not.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sneeze and easel, they
Love
share,
you
share a syllable.
guys.
We love you too.
Shannon.
It's a shame we don't say it more often.
Any word on the... Don't start that crap. Any word on the new alternate jerseys this year? They usually announce them by the beginning of season.
Okay, so the Kings announced theirs today. There are rumors. There are rumors of a lot of others. Apparently the Canes might have had one, but now that they have the stadium jersey coming up, they may put that off for next year. There have been rumors about Minnesota getting a new alternate.
I vote yes.
I know that a lot of them are using the same ones. Boston's apparently still using the throwback to the 40s. Washington's still using the one with the Washington Monument on it. Yeah, there's a lot of them that have stayed basically the same. I thought the Canucks might be getting a new one, but apparently not. Winnipeg is going to the Heritage jersey. The blue one is what they're going to use for their alternate. So they're doing away with the blue one with the word mark on the front, which is kind of too bad because the color's really nice on that. Just the wrong logo.
Yes.
But next year's supposed to be another
they
reverse
could do that
retro
color
year.
with a different logo. That would be
And
much
then
better.
the word has it that reverse retro will be done every 2 years. That's what some executives want to see happen, that every 2 years they have a reverse retro program.
How would they keep doing them, though?
Some of them
how
they'd
many
repeat.
times can
Some of them
you
they'd
do
repeat.
reverse retro?
Yeah, some of them they'd repeat. I've thought they have to do something different where it's not just retro.
Right. Okay, last one. When he finally becomes eligible, is Yager going to get 100% of the vote? I know it's almost impossible for anyone ever, but Yager is the greatest European-born player ever, and it's not even close.
Yes, and I don't think he's going to have to wait either. I don't think he's going to have to wait to get into the Hall. The only reason he's not inducted right now is because he hasn't retired. He's still active. He's still playing hockey. So as soon as he's retired from the NHL, he gets inducted.
Will Saskatchewan ever get an NHL team?
I don't see it. I think that as far as NHL teams go, I think everybody's set where they are right now. Even Arizona, the Tempe thing, as long as the Tempe thing goes through, they're staying in Arizona. If that fell through, maybe you end up seeing them in Houston, but outside of that, everybody else is stable. Even Florida.
Vaughn about to throw down. Yeah, I'd win too, because my muscles.
What muscles?
These ones.
Uh-huh.
Don't be jealous of my muscles.
Do I need to pick you up again?
No. Behave.
I always behave. Mostly.
Disagree. Okay, y'all are the best. I know Shannon said.
Okay. That's it.
Oh, goodness.
No, because she knocked the sound bar down, so that's it.
I know Shannon says this should be. She disagrees. I'm going to get that chipmunk.
Where did I put the remote?
I don't know.
Here it is.
She's pretty sure she's going to get it this time.
No.
Wait, where did it go?
No.
Pretty sure it's behind the TV.
No, she knocked the sound bar down, so that's the end of that.
Okay. I know Shannon says this should be a rebound year for my Flyers. What is their ceiling if you had to predict who wins, Canucks and Flyers?
In a playoff series, the Flyers, I think, would probably come out ahead of Vancouver. Yeah, the Flyers, every other year, they're in the playoffs. Every other year, they're out of the playoffs. There's no rhyme or reason for it. Carter Hart has to have a bounce back from last year. He just has to. They revamped their blue line. I didn't pick them to make the playoffs because I I looked at their lineup and went, I don't know how this is going to work. But yeah, I mean, if the lineup on the blue line works, if Martin Jones has a bounce back and Carter Hart's a starter, they could finish as high as third or fourth in the division. But as unlikely as it looks, they do it every other year. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely love the countdown. Anyway, we can have access to a spreadsheet or listing of your rankings.
I'm probably going to, because I keep updating them, I'll probably update, like just copy the one I have now and put it in the same folder.
You have that on Patreon,
as
don't
the
you?
Jersey. Well, I don't have it in the same folder as the jersey photos. I have all the jersey photos available on Patreon. They're available to members. So every time I get a jersey, I take a picture of it and I upload it to a folder. And I was going to use that for the countdown too. I ended up not using it for the countdown, but I'm still doing it because it's good to have that. And so I can upload something to that as well, where it's all the rankings. But yeah, I can make something available. I don't know how publicly I would want to make that available, because at some point somebody would go in and be like, I can't believe he has this one here, and then I'd be getting emails. You should take this one and put this one down and put this one.
It's true.
No,
that is the kind of emails
I went through your listings and I redid them, and here's how I think they should be done.
Yes, we would absolutely get that. Yes.
Yep.
Is that Texier?
Yeah, Texier.
And Bemstrom finally show up for the Blue Jackets.
Bemstrom, I think, is going to have a really good year. Texier, I think we have to adjust down what we expect of him offensively, but I think Texier is going to have a pretty decent two-way. I think he's like a third line forward, ideally. I don't know that he's necessarily going to be top six when they start improving again.
Who gets better season in net with Carolina can either get the Canes to the finals.
If Ronta's 100% healthy, he can be really good, but Freddie Anderson is capable. Freddie Anderson's absolutely capable, and he's right now, you would think both of them are kind of fired up to prove their former teams wrong for letting them go. Anderson with Carolina, he's playing behind a better defense than he had in Toronto. Their team, I think, overall, confidence-wise especially, than what he had in Toronto, I think he's going to have a big bounce back here.
Mercer made New Jersey roster. Holtz did not, despite a great camp. Do you prefer young players getting less time in NHL games? Is that and more or more time in AHL games?
I think that it's better for, especially with Holtz coming over from Europe, it's probably better for him to get that extra time in the AHL. And then by the middle of the season, he's probably going to force them into a position where they have to call him up. Mercer is more of your standard two-way forward. So if he's bottom six, he's still useful. Holtz needs to be top six, so it's probably better for him to be in the AHL.
Laughing pears.
Do you like the pears?
The pears are cute. Should the Kraken add more red to their jersey in the future? Hi. Hey.
Well, let's see. So the Kraken jersey, would you add more red to it? They just have the line.
I know. I think they could. I think it could be fun.
I don't know where you'd put it.
I don't know.
Wider stripes?
Could be fun.
The logo is huge. Like I can't
ginormous.
I can't explain. So when I was playing street hockey, normally the logo isn't touched at all. But yeah, it was the stick. Every time I had the stick, it was right up against the logo. It's weird because the logo is huge.
Can't mistake it for any other team.
No.
So
you can see the logo from space.
Thoughts on the Panthers transforming Levy? Where to go? Moved into a good defenseman like Forsling.
Levy's just had a run of really bad luck with his injuries and his health. He needed a fresh start. Florida should be good for him. Florida is very good at reclaiming defensemen like Forsling. And so I think it's going to be a good fit. I don't know how many games he plays. He may end up being a number 7 guy for them. Maybe he ends up on that third pairing. But I think that as long as he can stay healthy, he can be a good defensive player for them. But again, he's got to be healthy. His numbers last year, his advanced stats were bad. A lot of that, I think, had to do with him being in poor health and just struggling with injuries.
Do you know what the correct color was for the old Cleveland Crusaders? I bought a jersey that is a dark plum, and I expected a royal purple. like the LA
Let me
Kings.
take a quick look here. Is this? Oh, that's the Fighting Saints. That is Cincinnati. There it is.
It is definitely a purple. I
Yep.
mean, you can't really see it on here because cameras always
This
turn
is
purple to
a
blue.
K1
It
K1
is.
jersey.
It is very similar to the Kings. There's Kings. Is it the same?
There you go.
It's a little bit different. This
Slightly.
is bluer. This is a little bit bluer than that. This is straight up purple. This one has a little bit of a bluer tinge to it.
Barely the tiniest bit, and
The
then
logo's
the
the
logo.
same. The logo's
looks-
purple.
yeah.
It's violet.
Yeah, so it looks very, very much like the Kings purple.
The logo is definitely purple. This is tiniest bit of blue. Any example of veteran players who are cut or not signed in favor of younger, cheaper players?
Well, I mean, Kyle Turris getting cut by the Oilers. There were a lot of guys who ended up on waivers yesterday who were definitely moved out in favor of the younger guys. Guys who didn't get to actual contracts from their tryouts, like a Bobby Ryan. Ryan was pushed out by Raymond. So yeah, that is a standard thing. Speed, youth, those are seen as the hallmarks now of a good hockey player.
Confused why tomorrow is being referred to as the start of the season. I thought Wednesday was opening night.
Well, technically tomorrow's opening night because that's the first night there's regular season games. There's a doubleheader on ESPN because they are on TNT because they're no, it is on ESPN because they're really trying to plug the NHL and grab those ratings. So the banner gets raised in Tampa tomorrow night. Then you get Vegas and Seattle. It's the first game for Seattle, and yeah, it's opening night. Not for most teams, obviously, only for 4, but it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
Never knew camera turned purple to blue. Good to know. Yes, it is very hard to see purple on camera. Very, very hard.
Do you know what's weird?
My hair really is purpley.
You know what's weird?
It looks very bright pink on here.
I've noticed
then
this.
that's
I've
purple.
noticed this when the camera's turned this way. The green jerseys look greener this way than when I'm facing that way. I have no idea why. Like a lot of the time, the green doesn't show up, or sometimes it looks black on some of them. Yeah,
See,
these
it's
are fine now.
purple. See, it looks blue. That's definitely purple. But how many fantasy hockey pools are you in?
None.
Nope.
None.
You could do
I
that.
don't. I used
Spare
to do fantasy football and fantasy hockey on Yahoo, and I just gave up.
No.
Because I couldn't be bothered. I'd be like, oh, some of my guys are hurt. I got killed this week. Oh well. And yeah. What's wrong, kitty?
Oh.
What's wrong?
King should wear one purple and one gold sock. That would just look silly. We don't want him to look silly.
They were the Burger King. We're way past them worrying about looking silly decades ago. They've already chosen silly a couple of times. You saw their stadium jersey a couple of years ago.
Oh, that was bad.
That was silly.
I mean,
Oh, we got another Amazon package coming.
are they gonna walk through our yard too, so they can just throw it at the door? That'd be awesome.
Usually, it depends.
That'd
Though
be
there's the
great.
one guy that I talked to that he was decent, but one of those has to be yours because I think I only had one packed coming today from Amazon, so one of them has to be yours.
Hey, now,
You're a rock star. Get the show on.
what
Get
do you what do you think about Zed coming back to the island?
Zdeno
Oh, okay.
Chara.
I don't know that I've ever heard him referred to as just Zed.
Big Z.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
He's bigger than
Think
a human.
I know that. Think it'll make a significant change to how the Islanders will perform.
Yes and no. Chara is a really good leader. Definitely leads by example. And so I think he will only help them. It's almost like having an assistant coach on the ice at this point when he's out there. I think it can't hurt. I'm glad he's back with the Islanders, and on a third pairing, I think he can still be quite good.
No encouraging him. No.
What's that?
Will you be doing more interviews? Love the Steve Dangle interview.
Well, I did the one with the San Jose radio today.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that university
That's
one.
for a
thing
university.
For tomorrow.
That's
Well,
not
I
for
know,
other
but
people.
technically.
It's for a university class.
So That's going to be weird.
Shannon doesn't really do interviews very often
No.
because we get so many emails asking
Yeah.
for interviews, like really a lot, and so he really doesn't do them just because he gets so many
And it's
requests.
weird because nobody cared about anything I had to say 5 years ago. Basically, I'd start talking hockey and be, can you get to work now? But I want to talk about hockey. Talk about hockey. Can I talk about hockey while I work? And they're like, oh God, no. And then I would just talk about hockey while I worked. So if I was working next to the right person, whoever was around us had a really rough 2 hours because all we do is talk about hockey for 2 hours.
I can imagine that.
And it would just, you could just see the soul draining out of people's faces as they realized I wasn't going to stop, and neither was the person I was talking to. So it would start out as Canucks, and then it would just morph into talking about all the teams.
Are you retired?
All the players.
For being retired, he sure works a lot.
I don't.
No, he's not retired.
I'm working on recluse. I'm working on like.
He's definitely not
recluse.
retired. He works all day, every single day.
I'm working on like the
No.
dude kind of thing for my dress, where you wear your pajamas all day. I just don't have white Russians, but I don't drink. So if I drink,
works all day long.
I haven't taken a day off in
forever.
5 years. It's got to be 5 years now since I had a day where I didn't do a video.
I don't know that I've ever seen a day that you don't do a video.
See, and I'm trying to think about it. And other than
you did videos when we got married. You do videos on Christmas. You do videos every day when we go on holiday.
Before I met you, there was the time where I had the really bad flu. I think it was H1N1 because I was down for a week, and it was to the point where I actually took myself to the emergency room to get checked out because I was not getting better. But that's the last time I think that I can remember that I didn't do videos, and that wasn't the summer before I met you either. That would have been the summer before that. That would have been 2015 that I didn't do videos during that summer. Maybe 2016. Maybe before I met you. Might have been the June before I met you. Was the last time that I spent a day without doing videos.
Okay.
Might have been.
Hi, made a spreadsheet showing team stats following your countdown. Would make a great recap in a video. It was sent by email. Have a great stream.
Oh, that's fun. Because I did a power rankings once where I used the rankings of the jerseys to do a power rankings of what the average spot was for teams, and that way fans could say I hated their teams because we're at the jerseys.
We already get those emails, so that's fun.
Yeah,
there you go. You can give them proof. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
It was a fun power ranking.
Okay,
and those Kings are number one. Well, wait, the Kings wouldn't be number one if it was based on my favorite teams.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Do you think current players have a chance at 50 goals in 50 games?
Matthews has a chance at 50 goals in 50 games. And because Ovechkin doesn't age, it's always out there as a possibility. But yeah, Matthews can do 50 goals in 50 games.
Does the wife drink? I drink tea.
She drinks tea and I drink diet soda. That's
both of us very alcohol consumption is really, really low. I got us a 6-pack of ciders at the beginning of the pandemic.
There was that one cider I was drinking during the live stream we did for Patreon and members.
Oh yeah.
I never even finished it. Right. I just ended up dumping it out.
Right.
And even though I only drank like half the bottle, I was feeling kind of a little, hey, this is fun. So yeah, we're real lightweights. We really don't drink.
I drink a lot of tea though, so that makes up for it.
And anytime that I have like a cider or anything, as soon as that's gone, I'm like, and I need soda.
I lied to your $200 just because. Thank you.
Thank you. I like it when people lie with money.
Do you only answer questions from people who pay? Nope.
It's a matter of trying to keep up.
So those are super chats. I try and make sure I read those. And when there's not a super chat, then I read other questions.
Absolutely.
And so when there's not a ridiculous amount of super chats, then I do get to other ones. Oh, what brand of cider? I can picture it. What are they called?
Angry Orchard.
Angry Orchard. And then there's the Okanagan one.
The Okanagan ones are pretty good.
What's the Okanagan one called?
Just Okanagan cider,
right. I was like, they are Okanagan. I can picture it.
Yeah.
Will McDavid ever get a cup?
He has to. He's too good not to. The question becomes, does he get it in Edmonton? That's the question. But he has to before he retires. He's too good not to have a cup.
Shannon does not get drunk. I
don't.
Never seen Shannon drunk ever.
No. I got drunk when I was 30, which was a while ago. And that was where I went, all right, that's enough of that crap. And I really haven't been drunk since then.
I had oolong tea with cookies this afternoon. I have oolong tea right now.
There you go.
It's great. I drink coffee all hours of the day, even at midnight. So caffeine must not affect you. It doesn't affect me either. So
caffeine still affects me.
I drink tea all day long, even right before bed. So yes, we have Patreon. It's in the description of every video. I have a sneeze.
Yep. Bless you. Does shaking your hands help? Does it get it out faster?
Okay.
Does this help?
It's gone. Yeah.
Wax on, wax off?
It did. It worked. It went away.
All right. Wax on, wax off. There you go. Fire book.
If you had to fight an NHL player, no. Who would you pick and why? No. That's what I pick.
I wouldn't.
Nope.
I can't see myself wanting to do that.
That's weird. Why would you fight somebody?
I think if an NHL player dropped the gloves, I'd be like, "Here's your gloves, Mr. Sir."
And most of them are huge. Huge.
Can I buy you a beverage?
And athletic and huge. Why?
Do you need a beverage, or you seem
kind of angry? No, we're not really tall, right?
You guys seem really angry. So did you need a beverage, or
we're not tall?
And even then,
we're old.
There's
and not tall.
There's
and
definitely
not athletic. Well, not athletic compared to them.
When I start, like I do the treadmill every day, and I do 5 miles every day, and I still do the old man grunt to pick something up. And, it drives me insane. It's like, I run 5 miles a day, and I still gotta when I pick something. It's like, wait, no, I specifically jog so I don't get old. This is ridiculous.
Have you looked at other platforms? Well. No,
I uploaded a cat video to TikTok today.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Good job.
Took 40 seconds of the cat sleeping.
I don't go on TikTok. I'm too old for that.
Way too. Even in my bio, it says 20 years too old for TikTok. I'm 20 years too old for TikTok.
We've got YouTube and Patreon, and then there's also the Facebook page.
Yeah.
The Twitter.
We looked at.
Shannon had to restart an Instagram. So if you haven't seen Shannon's posts on Instagram, it's because he got locked out of his other account.
And then their support is less than useless.
Right.
So I went, fine,
so
I'll just make another
one. And made a new one night because he was irritated.
I was having a lot of problems with that other one, though. So
he has a new Instagram, and he doesn't have a ton of followers anymore.
No, I have like 180. But it's just Jersey pictures.
I think the cats have more than you at this point.
Yeah. THG
the cats have more than me, that's for sure.
THG cats. They're fun. The cats are fun.
I mean, I can't blame people.
No, I wouldn't follow me either.
The cats are way more entertaining.
I wouldn't follow me either.
Right?
I think if Shadow could talk about hockey, I think he'd have way more subscribers than I would.
Definitely would. Yeah.
Talking cat? Done.
Yes.
Done.
Be on all of the morning news shows.
Yeah. We should have like some kind of a setup where they prognosticate things, where we have treats in a bowl, and whichever bowl they eat out of, that's who they're picking to win that game that night.
We'd have to like hold Bear back so she didn't just lunge at it and just she won. Her bet is all of them. Everybody's gonna win and growl at her brother.
Mine.
Yes, she does. She growls at her brother.
Okay. Love the content. It's top notch. I was wondering, do you have a Cardiff Devils jersey or any of the Great Britain League team jerseys? Yes, he does.
Closest I have.
Well, not to the Cardiff, but
closest I have is Belfast Giants, which is Elite League. And this one I got through my friend who shall remain nameless.
You'd never guess who it was from.
It's
I wonder who gave him that jersey.
He is nameless.
It's a mystery.
So I cannot tell where I got this from or from who, but it makes it a Jersey fell too, I do believe. It's interesting though, because they supplemented that on there. So that's kind of fun.
Awesome.
So if Belfast wanted to send one with my name on it, I'd be okay with that, and I definitely wear that in a video. Like at middle of the night right now, Belfast's like, quick, he mentioned us. Somebody on social media, get in contact with him. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Don't worry, Shannon. I have had an old man grunt since I was 15.
I hear it and I'm like, oh, that's the old man grunt. And it's just, no, I don't want to have the old man grunt.
My cat is indifferent to boxes and hockey. Our cats love boxes. I frequently will leave boxes. We do have some boxes that I don't take them apart. I just set them in different locations in the house because they love their boxes. Yeah, we have one in the dining room, one in the living room, and one in the upstairs hallway.
One in the kitchen.
And one in the kitchen.
Yeah. And it's just for the cats to go sit in.
Our cats are slightly
sometimes the cats are all snippy. So I'm like, here, and I put them in a box. And then they sit down and they're like, all right, yeah, this works. So that makes them happy.
What time is it here? It's 6:16.
It is almost time for us to go.
That's why it's slowly getting dark.
It's getting dark, but then Adelaide's going to be home soon, which means the quiet is going to get broken soon.
Yes.
So that's how that works. She comes in, and then usually it's chaos. La,
la, la, la, la, la. She's definitely an 8-year-old little girl that sings all the time. And when she's not singing, she's talking. When she's not talking,
she comes down here. She goes in her room.
Humming.
She goes in her room to get something, and I'll have like the whole thing set up so I'm doing a video to get ready for a video. So I've got the camera positioned, and I'm standing there, and I hear her coming. So I'm like, I can't hit record because she's coming, and I'll just stand here with my arms crossed, staring at her, and she just has a whole conversation with herself,
kind of like you.
Right Weird. There. I don't have conversations with myself. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you do.
So yeah. I just I find that's just. I would never do.
She's a happy little girl. She is a very happy little girl that has to be singing and humming and talking and dancing and spinning all the time. No, Kate, you can't be spinning in the kitchen. If you want to spin, go out to the trampoline. That's why we have the trampoline.
And then it's weird for me.
Stop.
It's weird for me because first time around, my daughter was quiet, she kept to herself.
We don't have that problem in this house.
She went through her goth phase as well. And she was just kind of quiet, and so Adelaide to me is just like it's a foreign country. It's I don't understand the language. I don't know what to, because I'll tell her, I'll say, can you please stop? I'm trying to do a video. Okay.
Yes. Always.
And she just keeps, and I'm like,
all the time. The boys. So we also have the 2 teenage brothers. Adelaide, can you ever just be quiet? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And she'll come down. She'll be like, hey, do you want to hear the song I made up? Nope, not. I'm good. Thank you. I think I heard it. I heard it upstairs. I heard it.
She does.
But I want to say, I heard it because you're right over my head and I heard it.
All day long.
What?
Kids are fun. You need to order his and hers Vancouver jerseys. One with the number 18 and the other with the number 12. Why 18 and 12? I don't get it.
Hi, sweetie.
You need to explain it to me, Dave. I don't get it. You're not meant to understand. You're just meant to love her. She is a very lovey little girl, too.
She is.
She only tells me goodnight like 12 times. Every night.
When you went to get the boys, she was always giving me hugs, good night, and she was very, very affectionate. And I was
she's
like,
a
okay,
very affectionate little girl.
She was a little bit insecure when you weren't here for a few days, but
I'm sure. What teams in each division are being a dark horse? Who can sneak into a playoff spot?
Atlantic, I would go with Ottawa.
Oh, 18-12. Oh my gosh. I should have known.
I could do that with geeky jerseys.
It was Dave. I should have known.
So with the Atlantic,
Atlantic,
I'd go with Ottawa. I'd go with the Rangers in the Metro.
See, everybody else got it.
In the Central, Chicago could be a good dark horse there. And in the Pacific, I mean, if things fall right for Seattle, they could end up in 3rd spot. That is not completely outside the realm of possibility.
You guys are trouble.
Back in 18-12.
No, Shannon.
BCHL, I have both of the Chilliwack Chiefs jerseys. I have the red and the white Chilliwack Chiefs jerseys, just in case we get to go to a Chiefs game this year. Fingers crossed that we can, go to Abbey games in Vancouver and maybe get a Chilliwack game.
Since we don't get to go anywhere else, so.
Yeah, this is true. You know, we could do a tour all the way from Chilliwack to Vancouver. Doesn't that sound like fun?
No.
Imagine if the games were staggered out. So we watched a Chilliwack game, and then we watched an Abbey game, then we watched a Vancouver game.
But what about the Giants?
I guess we could watch the Giants. I have a Giants jersey too, so we're covered.
That'd be like a hockey road trip.
I have a Vancouver Giants jersey, so we're covered.
There you go. I missed a super chat. Okay, hold on.
What did you miss?
We'll blame it on Shannon.
Why are you blaming it on me?
Because it's your fault.
You got to ask that one.
I did. No.
You asked that one. Oh, there it is.
So you like the Kings' new alternate jersey? Do you think the chevron would work on a gray jersey?
Yes. And I was actually kind of surprised they didn't do like a gray jersey. They could almost do like a silver version of the gold Vegas. You could do like a really fun silver jersey there, but please put like a liner on the back so it's not all scratchy. That would be the one thing I would ask Adidas. Like it was something they seem to understand with previous jersey manufacturers to have a liner on the back so it's not scratchy, but Adidas doesn't do liners on the back of them, I guess.
What player are you most looking forward to watching in Abbotsford or in Chilliwack?
William Lockwood. William Lockwood is going to be, I think, fun to watch with Abbotsford. I'm kind of hoping he has a big year. Slow development, sure. Took a while for him to get in, but I would hope that he shows some upward momentum this year and makes the Canucks have to bring him up.
San Francisco Giants, New York Giants, Jolly Green Giant,
and Belfast Giants.
There you go.
A lot of Giants.
Oh, see, he agrees. Definitely Shannon's fault. So I'm right.
Is it my fault?
What did I do? What are your Central Division standing predictions?
I have Colorado in first. Winnipeg, I believe I put them in second. St. Louis in third. I had Minnesota in fourth. I know Nashville was seventh. Arizona was eighth. I had Chicago in sixth. So that leaves Dallas. Dallas in fifth. I had Dallas in fifth, and I had them as a wild card going over and playing the first place team in the Pacific.
What team's fan base is the most vocal in your comments?
The most common would be Toronto, because they're the biggest. So? I think Toronto. Now Vancouver, there's a lot of Vancouver too, especially right now because the Canucks kind of had a nightmare preseason, and there's a lot of concerns about the Hamonic situation, the Levy trade, Sutter's situation, Demco's being not great in the preseason. There's a lot of things right now, if you're a Canuck fan, you might be concerned with. If I did a panic index, right now the Canucks would be pretty close to the screaming face. So, yeah.
What section are our seats in Abbey? They're on a corner.
They're in a corner. I don't remember which
corner
section.
In row 4.
And I picked it because
row 4 corner.
A friend of mine. Well, we're by Kimber.
We're by an aisle.
We're not that far from Kimber.
And
that was kind of why I picked the corner I did, because Kimber messaged me and said, well, I'm in this section. I was like, all right, well, we'll be in that similar section. And we got to walk through and pick our seats, which was fun.
Surprised Gary Bettman hasn't called for advice.
Maybe he has, and I've been sworn to secrecy.
Oh, it's a cat. Wasn't sure if you were causing trouble or.
Nope, Abbotsford didn't give us honorary seats. We paid.
Yeah, no, we definitely bought seats. Vegas just fired the Golden Knights just fired the football coach. Makes sense.
Well, I mean, the football team hasn't won a hockey game in ages, so it makes sense. Makes total sense.
No starting 1812 stuff. You'll just get him go. Okay, set it.
Do I need to do another video on 1812?
Oh, your hands are so warm.
Do I need to do another Gary Bettman's Behind It All video?
I'm sure people would love that.
It has to be organic, though. It's not something I plan out. It just has to happen. Once we get into the season, stuff kind of happens that makes me snap. And then when I snap, I'm like, now's a good time to put me on camera because I've snapped. but at least I recognize it and I videotape the evidence that I snapped.
Do you think the Rangers are out on Eichel? Oh,
yes. The Zibanejad signing to me says they're out on Eichel. I can't see them paying $8.5 million for Zibanejad and then having another $10 million on Eichel and the other money too with Panarin. I just don't see how that works. The math doesn't work to me.
He really doesn't plan out his funny videos.
No.
It really is just one of those, and I'm going to do this.
No.
There's no plan
even
in
the
it
news from
at
the
all.
future.
He really doesn't. Does Bednar keep his job if
Colorado doesn't get past round 2?
There we go. Okay.
It really depends on why they don't get past round 2. If they're fully healthy and they still can't get past round 2, I could see Bednar being out because the expectations in Colorado have definitely gone up.
Gruden, the football coach, was just fired.
Oh, good. I was surprised they didn't get rid of him before now. Yeah, well, there you go. Vegas goes through their first coach. But it's the Raiders, so the Raiders go through coaches a lot. That's kind of the way that works. The Raiders go through a lot of football players too. So,
how much planning do you put into your videos?
It depends on the video.
It's what he writes on the board.
That's
his planning.
The history videos, it can be a lot. I know when I did the year-by-year history videos, I did a lot with all those. I have a lot of books, a lot of historical books I was using for a lot of that. The off-season videos tend to take more time than the videos during the regular season because usually just news or it's me reviewing stuff that happened during the game. So the time consumption part is me watching the game and taking all the notes. And then the video part after is actually pretty easy because I just read what I wrote on the board.
Will you do a 2020-2021 season review?
At some point, yeah. I know that was a playlist I didn't update in the off season, but I will get to it. That playlist always gets at least some views all season, and it has every year since I put it up. I think it's 3 years ago now that I did that one. So I want to do like an updated version of that next summer. That's the plan, is now that the jersey countdown's done again. Next summer, I want to do the historical year-by-year stuff again.
Do you like the commish, Gary Bettman?
I think Bettman takes a lot of flack. I think the fact that the 2020 Cup final, when they wanted Bettman in the team photo, at least the first photo they took, tells you that the players understand how much hard work he's done throughout the last year, now 18 months, to try to keep things going. I think that he's the heater for the owners. He takes all the heat for them so that people don't complain about the owners like they used to. That's his job. His job is to be the guy that everybody hates.
Happy Thanksgiving. We just call it Thanksgiving, not Canadian Thanksgiving. It's just Thanksgiving.
Anyways, we should probably get going.
Yes.
Because we
do need to get
stuff
going.
To get done and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then there's the boys being too quiet, which always makes
me
kind of nervous.
Right? I had the thought of, I haven't heard them for a while.
Makes me a little nervous.
So
anyways, guys, we will do this again at some point during the season. Absolutely. We'll be doing live streams. We're doing the live stream tomorrow for members and patrons. We do the live stream tomorrow as well. I was thinking 1 o'clock for that one.
Isn't that what time you have the school thing?
Is it
for the class, or is that at noon? I have to look at my calendar now. It's tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's at 12 o'clock.
It's 12 o'clock. Oh, that should be fine.
You have the university thing.
That should be fine.
Isn't that an hour long? Right? Yeah, it's an hour long.
Yeah, should be fine. Should be fine. Because they schedule for an hour doesn't mean it takes the entire hour.
Right.
So, anyways, guys, thanks for coming out. And tomorrow we're back. Hockey's back. So, thanks, guys, for sticking around during the off season. And now we get to the fun stuff. So, yeah, we'll get at it. Oh, see, no, Gruden resigned. It's always a good thing to quit before you get fired.
Right.
Anyways, guys, thanks for coming out.
You can't fire me. I quit.
That's right.
All right.
And we'll do this again soon.